a Pete Primeau fan.
Thank you for having me.
Your fans are like...
What an honor to be here, Pete. You're a legend. You're a rock star.
I'm a legend in my own mind, said my wife.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I'm Mr. Selling from the Heart. What's this guy, Larry Levine, going to teach me about selling from the heart?
You are one of the most generous and authentic people around. And I think that's why you and your show are so attractive to people.
Welcome to the Pete Primeau Show. It is episode 208. Can you imagine that? How fast did this go? My Lord. I am here with my friends from BedTech. We're going to pay the bills first. But if you're going to Vegas, get ready to be rocked. The new BedTech is ready to show. Let me pay the bills first. If you haven't bought my book, Sell a Million, what are you waiting for? This isn't a sales book. It's really a marketing book, and it's really a book about big ideas. If you invest in this book and you need help implementing it, I will help you implement it 100% free. Just call me at 419-560-3169 or text me. We'll jump on a call, and I will help you with additional resources and get you all set up. And coming very soon, guys. I'm super excited about this one. Miles and miles of retail selling greatness. And my friend Justin Trumbo wrote a great chapter about technology selling in there, the genesis of it, how to actually do it. Might be the very best chapter in the entire book. And I wrote most of the chapters, but I think Justin's one chapter might very well be. I mean, there's some good ones. Janakovo's got a great chapter in there. Chris Tahaney's got two great chapters. Brent Batterman's got two great chapters. So Mark Klingenberg, how to sell over 1,000 smart beds at retail, which he's done. He's the only person that I know that's ever done it. So, guys, if you need 2 to 3 years worth of sales meetings, it's in this book right here. It's not available yet, but February 17th, it will be available. We'll have a whole show dedicated to it. If you want to get on the waiting list, just in case we publish a day or two early, let me know. Give me your contact information, and I will be happy to keep you in the loop of what's going on. And I need to say thank you to Greg and Steve at the Mattress Industry Network group. You guys do great work. We actually need to update that logo, Chris, and that's my fault. I should have mentioned that to you. Over 2,300 strong, might be over 2,400 strong. If you are in the mattress industry, we want you in this group. Everybody's in here, from sales pros that work the retail floor to store owners to VPs of sales to owners of manufacturing companies. If you want to learn how to build, market, sell, and succeed in the mattress industry, this is a place for you. It's a great group, and it is run by retailers for the benefit of the entire industry. So join me in the Mattress Industry Network group. Hit that QR code right there Chris is about to put up, and come into the group and say hi. It's 100% free, guys. You do not need to be in this business alone. And without further ado, I want to invite Darren, who is the president of BedTech, and my friend Justin Trumbo, who is the president of BedTech in the Midwest. Justin, you look very young there.
I'm trying to keep the industry fooled, Pete.
Darren,
How are you, Pete?
see you very shortly. I'm going to see you on Saturday. I know that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, RJ. Let's go. Thank you for being here, RJ. I appreciate you. So I'm going to see you on Saturday. What am I going to see when I walk in the showroom, brother?
Gosh, Pete, you're going to see a different look at BedTech for sure. We're going to change up quite a few things. We're going to have several of our models that might, and then some of them will look the same, but are vastly different. Some of our models we're making in the USA now. We're going to have several products that are going to be part of our BedTech USA lineup, which is exciting for us. We are thrilled to be able to have
Lee Greenwood music right now.
Let's go. Proud to be an American.
That is music to my ears, my friend.
Absolutely. So we will have, that's one of our biggest rollouts at market, and we're going to have a really, really strong lineup coming with cooling cover. That's more of a promotional lineup with 8-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch, but with cooling cover, keeping the pricing the same as the non-cooling cover. So just adding a much stronger value in that, better sellability on the floors. We're going to add some categories to our sheets, our pillows. We're going to have an Italian memory foam pillow lineup that's going to be incredible, one of the best out there. So there's going to be, quite a few changes. And we're just really excited about what we've done is we've increased the value proposition of what we already have. We were very focused on bringing some value to our customers' showroom floors. We know today it's all about value. And if we can add value to your floor on your showroom and bring in more dollars to your showroom, we're going to be the best partner that we can be. And so that's what we've really focused on in this last 6 months. It's bringing extreme value in every category: under bed, top of bed, accessories, and of course in the mattresses and adjustable bases as well.
Yeah, and just to kind of pitch in there, the industry, and we say add value, we're looking to add value with the least amount of disruption to our partners' floors. I mean, if you think back to 2020, Pete, when COVID kind of came in, our industry has been hit with disruption after disruption after disruption, from supply chain issues to backlogs to then we had switched over to, it was probably the little slower than most people would have liked for the last 12 months. And if you look at most of the companies that have had financial issues and went bankrupt over the last year, it's not that these companies didn't have good balance sheets, it's that their balance sheets were lopsided and they just didn't have enough cash. And so, two of the things that are the hardest to change for people are, especially at scale, are adjustable beds and sheets. And so what we're looking to do is continue to make rolling improvements, things that do not require our retail partners to necessarily change out their floor models, but the product get better and better. Like, for example, our X4 now has stackable legs. Our X4, X5 are going to be going Bluetooth and getting added to the mobile application. We've increased the quality of our sheets. We're looking at different packaging. And so the things that we're looking to do are, like Darren said, looking to continue to add value, yet without disrupting our retailers. I mean, these warehouses are more clogged up with line changed inventories than ever before. And we want to help give the industry some reprieve for that and kind of let them start building some cash up at what we all hope's a better selling year.
So I feel like Horseshack on Mr. Cotter. You guys are too young to remember, but there was this goofy character who would get excited and he would stick his hand up in the classroom and say, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, Mr. Cotter, Mr. Cotter." So you said something very quickly that got me very excited, and I might get let down here. But if you have put Bluetooth in the X4 and the X5, does that mean that it can go on the app now?
That is going to be one of the next changes. Yes. So we're going to be adding X4 and X5 to our mobile application. We're just trying to let the backlogged inventory get through, and then we're going to be adding it to the app. So it's just like adding stackable legs or things like this. This goes back to increasing value without causing disruptions, right? We want people to be able to focus on sales this year, growing their businesses, putting more money back in the bank, kind of putting little moats around their companies. You know, you get a lot of these manufacturers that when they make line changes, they're not very conscious of their retail partners. They just kind of do it on their terms versus on what's good for their retailers. And so we're trying to really focus on how can we improve the line, add value without disrupting the floors.
So Pete, you'll see, I mean, we're going to start trickling in inventory into our warehouses with that Bluetooth technology for both X4 and X5, like within the next few weeks, but we're not going to roll that out until we get rid of all of the old non-Bluetooth so that we don't have any confusion out there at retail. So I would say within the next 4 to 8 weeks, that will be added, and then we'll be able to use those Bluetooth BTX4 and X5 and make that rolling improvement, making our product, more sellable with more features at the same price. We're not adding, we're not going to be changing our price list and moving that price list up. So we can, we added more value and now it costs more. No, we've added more value to be a better value and not charge more at retail. We want our customers to be able to have the ability to say, yeah, this adds Bluetooth now. And we didn't change the price. It's very important for us that we do that without trying to monetize it for ourselves. We want to be that good partner.
Darren, it always comes back to me whenever we start talking, a conversation that I had with Brandon years ago when I first started. We want to be that supplier that we as a retailer never had. And one of the things that I love about BedTech, about our company, is that we've always got our retailer hat on. Justin's got his retailer hat on. You have your retailer hat on. And the most important thing is my diamond crusted unicorn, Henry, has his retailer hat on. Like, how do we make this easier, better, more profitable for our retailers?
Justin and I talk literally, Justin and I talk probably 30, 40 times a week, and we are constantly talking about our people, our retailers. What can we do to make sure that what we're doing is going to benefit them? How do we make sure that whatever changes that we make are good for our retailers? Because we can't make decisions as a company that are just good for us and bad for the retailer, because ultimately those will be bad for us. And so we're constantly thinking. Justin has spent, I don't know how many years at retail. I grew up in my family stores and ran some of our stores, since I was a kid. My family goes back to the 1940s in retail. And so, yeah, we have experienced the highs and lows of retail. We've experienced what it feels like to have exceptional customer service. And we've most of the time felt like what it was like to have poor customer service from our manufacturers and our reps. And so, yeah, every decision that we make, us and Justin and all of our people here at BedTech are with our retailers in mind. And every single decision that we make is to try to elevate our experience with them. So,
and just to touch on that a little bit, product is one thing. But I was talking to Greg Gent one time, and Greg Gent and Steve, they've launched Midas. And I remember Greg telling me, he's like, Justin, when the recession hit or COVID happened, it wasn't $5 or $10 on a product that saved my business. It was the partnerships and relationships that saved my business. And so one of the things that we're most proud of is all the partnerships that we're getting to form, whether it's Jeff Janakovo over at MRT, or Greg and Steve with Midas, or Scott Bond with Wingo, or Mark Kinsley and the guys over at the FAM. Each of these guys are trying to add unique value to the retail side of the industry. And as a company, we see more value leaning into guys like that who can actually support the retailers and help them get their average tickets up, or give tools like be-back bucks like Jeff has done to these guys. Because if the whole independent retail network is doing better, then we're going to do better. It's that rising tide lifts all ships. So one thing that you're going to see about not just being consistent is we're going to keep trying to lean into guys like that are trying to support the industry and elevate everyone for the good of everyone. And so that's one of the things I think we're most proud of in the last 12 to 18 months is some of the partnerships we've formed with guys like that.
Yeah. And let's not forget Bob Munkle. He is an amazing talent, probably the greatest sales trainer I've ever listened to. He is special. And we have some special people out there to be sure that that deserve recognition. But you, my friend, your chapter in this book was special. It really was special. And I'm going to say this to you guys. This book, when it goes on sale, it's going to go on sale for $19.99. Guess what? It's worth 10 times that price just for Justin's chapter. So do not miss the bonus round at the end of the book, because what happens with my book is it's before the sale, during the sale, after the sale, and then the bonus. And the bonus is actually the best part because it ties everything together. Everything that's throughout the book, it's the best of the best. And Justin, you poured yourself into that. I mean, absolutely poured yourself into that, brother. So thank you for all you do. And I just have to say this before we go. There's a lot of things I want to dive into, and I'm doing the squirrel thing in my head right now. But any retailer that's watching this, if you have not been into BedTech showroom, you are missing it. Like, it is the single greatest amount of positive energy compressed into a small space than you'll ever imagine in your life. Everybody that comes into our showroom, it's just like they get lifted up. And it is just a powerhouse of positivity in the BedTech showroom. So anybody that's watching this, if you haven't been to BedTech, you just need to come into BedTech space just to experience it. I promise you, it won't let you down. The hospitality, the energy, the positivity, the innovation, and the care at every level, every T is crossed, every I is dotted to help you create a better retail experience. Because at their core, the Sparks family are retailers since the 1940s. And you just have to come to our space. Now, I have a question for you, Darren. I'm really excited about these Italian memory foam pillows. Are these the same ones that some reps had years ago, and they could put them in the trunk of their car in the winter, and they would be soft when they brought them into the retailer because they didn't they didn't freeze up in the car? Is that the same?
Yeah, these
Italian memory foam
will be very, very similar to those and have the same technology as that, Pete. And the memory foam, I have them here in my office, and the memory foam on these, and the foam, because it's also memory foam and foam. They're very, very special blend of chemicals that makes some of the highest end. Actually, I'm gonna rephrase that. Makes the highest end foam pillows that I have ever felt in my life. So, yeah, to say that I'm excited about these new Italian pillows is a big understatement. I felt, I don't know how many pillows throughout these years. I mean, thousands of pillows. These are my favorite pillows that I've ever felt. And the fabric is top-notch fabric that is so luxurious. The memory foam and foam in there is going to blow you away. So if you only came to see a pillow in BedTech, this would be worth it. They're incredible.
Wow. I'm so excited about that. I can't stand it. I'm sorry, Justin, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, and I think, this kind of speaks to what BedTech's trying to do a little bit as a company here. I mean, if you look at our industry and the evolution of it, 15, 20 years ago, the industry was still very commoditized. And today, people are buying brands and stories and the way they relate to those products more than ever before. If you see the separation of commoditized purchases being bought on Amazon or brands being bought directly through the brand or through the stores, I think you're seeing a bigger split where there is no middle anymore between the brands and the commoditization. And so what you're going to see from BedTech again is trying to elevate our brand through better website, it's better content curation, making it where if anybody goes out and does research on us, they're going to feel more comfortable making that purchase in the store for a higher price point because of the additional value add we've shown to the consumer through building trust. And then the products that we roll out, like these Italian pillows, we're going to try to make sure have more stories attached to them. So where there may be a small incremental cost on the backside, as a retailer, you're able to get so much more perceived value from the consumer, right? Where, $4, $5, $6 on the backside with a great Italian story, with an amazing pillow, with great packaging may lead to $30, $40, $50 more on the actual transaction side, or mean that much more when you go to bundle your sleep system. And so we're going to be very conscious of everything we roll out going forward. We know people are trying to elevate their stores. And so we're going to be trying to keep up with the retailers and elevating our brand. And I think this Italian pillow is kind of just towards that direction. And you're going to see more and more and more of this from us in the future.
Yeah. To that point, we've never spent more time on the packaging than this. The packaging is the best we've ever done. And so, we didn't take the cheap road on any of these. Every single aspect of the pillow is the best we've ever done. And the great thing about this is well, a lot of times, when people have these programs, you have to hit a minimum in order to get free shipping, right? And so you have to order $1,500 of whatever it is to get free shipping. Well, we have a program in place for our protectors and our pillows and our sheets, these pillows included, that you can get them one box at a time. So you don't have to fill up your warehouses with stuff that you don't need. If you want one box or two boxes or whatever the case may be, you can order based upon your needs and not have to worry about, oh crap, I can't buy this many. Maybe I just won't order for a while. You just order one case of pillows. We're making it simple for you. Our goal is to make your processes more simple, more streamlined, easier to cash flow, easier to store in warehouses. We want to make your job as a retailer easier.
And I'll point out, we weren't the brilliant ones that came up with these ideas. Those ideas came from our retailers. Retailers would say, hey, I don't want to buy $1,500 from some of the current suppliers I buy from just to get the 3 pillows that I need. So going to the one box program, that idea came from the retailers. And then you'd have retailers that came out with and said, Justin, what if I just want to ship one set of sheets to the customer, to the store? Well, that's where our D2C program came from. And so I would encourage all of our retailers, continue to bring us feedback, because most of the stuff that you see that you like that's came from us has probably came from a suggestion from an independent retailer just like yourself. So we listen. Most of the stuff we talk about isn't us talking about our ideas. It's stuff that we hear from guys like you, Pete, or our retailers on the ground. And we actually try to really take that feedback and actually implement it into our business.
I think there is a vast difference in some companies in our industry and us. There are companies that you see the moves that they make. They're very deliberate and they're very much about improving business for them, but not necessarily helping the individual retailer do more business and do more profitable business. So what I like to say about BedTech is we're a company with a heart, right? We're a company that does the right thing. We're a company that is always looking to be servants to our customers. And that's a very different mindset. And more importantly, it's a different heart set. Like, we're not dictating anything. We're listening and we're reacting and we're making already great programs even better. And I'm gonna embarrass my friend Justin here, but Darren, I want you to hear this from me. I want you to hear it publicly. I have never had anyone work harder for me and for my retailers than Justin. This guy is, I don't know if he sleeps, when he sleeps. I don't really care. I hope that he maintains his health, whatever he does, but he works so hard. It is rare for me to talk to one of my retailers and they don't say, I was just on the phone with Justin. I'm like, how can this guy be everywhere that he is? And he is. And so, Justin, thank you for your tireless commitment to growing our retailers' business and helping them see a bigger picture. And a lot of times it's not even about stuff about BedTech. It's about, like, how do we have a better experience for the customer? How do we close more sales? How do we close more profitable sales? How do we create systems that we need? What are the best practices of XYZ? I mean, you are literally a consultant's consultant. I mean, you could teach a course on being a consultant to the industry.
And Pete, this I appreciate you saying that, but I don't want to take all the credit. I want to go back to what I was just saying about all the collaboration that I've been so blessed to get to do, whether it's Jeff Janakovo over at MRT or Scott Vaughn over at Wingo or Bob over at Uncle Munkle or Mark at the Fam or, whichever, Greg Jenton, these guys, what they're trying to do with Midas, it is a lot of collaboration that has allowed the ideas that me and you talk about to really get out to the retail forefront. So that's what I really want to focus on this year, is to keep leaning into those collaborations, getting ideas from those guys, and then taking those ideas and spreading them across the industry. So, obviously I'm humbled to get to contribute to the idea pool, but I don't want to act like I'm the only one. Those guys bring incredible value, and BedTech feels blessed to get to partner with each one of them in their own way.
Awesome. Chris, can you pull up Chris Tahaney's comment? I know you pulled it up twice and I never read it. Chris Tahaney, Senior Vice President of New Business Development at King Coil, one of the most well-rounded companies in our business. Products, people, processes equals superb customer experience. Congratulations to BedTech. Always have been and always will be a big fan. Have an excellent market, fellas. Thank you, Chris. That means the world to us. And Joel had a comment. Justin is part robot. I'm convinced of it. Joel. 100%.
And first, congratulations, Chris, for where you landed. I think you're going to do big things over there. Joel's actually a great partner of ours over at First Direct, Connect 360. So I appreciate what Joel does for BedTech. And so this goes back to, again, our industry works best when we're all collaborating with each other. And so, Pete, thank you, too, for everything you do to kind of pull this all together. I see all the comments and everything, so we appreciate it.
Pete's the glue. Pete is the glue that brings everybody together. And,
right.
We appreciate all of, like Justin said, every collaboration that we have, with all the people that Justin mentioned. Those are all so valuable to us. We are so thrilled to be a part of it. Every single partnership just rises the tide for every single retailer. And we're glad that we can host some of those and be some of the contributing partners so that everybody can level up what they're doing in the industry. And BedTech is committed to continue to be a part of these things that we can continue to elevate the industry. And Justin, you talked about him, Pete, before you said, and you've called Henry, the diamond crusted unicorn. I've heard that a lot of times, and and kind of Justin, kind of fits that mold as well. He's a little bit of a diamond crusted unicorn as well, with all of the things that he's brought to these retailers across the country. He does some special things, and so you said that you wanted to take a minute and publicly say that, and I want to do the same. Is that I just am so grateful that Justin's on the BedTech team. What a valuable resource he is to all of our salespeople, our reps in the industry, and all of our retailers. He's done magnificent things for everybody.
So Darren, you may or you may not know this.
That's a good one. And real quick, good morning, Steve. Speaking of Las Vegas, guys, I'm really excited about the Monday meetup. If you haven't RSVP'd to come to Victory Burger, where we're going to
Burger Monday night.
Monday night. Yep. Steve and the Midas team and the MIN are going to be doing any of the awards and everything like that. And BedTech, we have the after party. It's an open invitation. So if you do attend, try to please RSVP so we know how many heads are there. But I do look forward to seeing everybody Monday night. It's going to be a blast.
Be a great time. Hey, Steve, how are you, buddy?
Steve Hauk says, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning to you, Steve. Joel, we will look forward to seeing you in Vegas as well, my friend.
Absolutely, Joel.
Let's see. I had something I wanted to talk about, and then it went away.
Squirrel.
I know. Oh, it's always squirrel. Oh, I wanted to share this with you, Darren, because you might have heard about this. When I had my first shoulder replaced, my left shoulder replaced, I went home about 1. I think I got home around 12:30 or 1, and a top 100 retailer needed some adjustable beds. And of course I responded, and next thing you know, I'm like, I better loop Justin in because this is important, right? And at some point during the day, I became exhausted and I went to bed. And when I woke up, here's Justin and the top 100 buyer, texting at 10:30 at night. I was sleeping, and we're doing some nice business with them, and it's thanks to Justin, because he was like Johnny on the spot. It's one thing to do business between 9 and 5. It's another thing to be doing business at 10:30, 11:30 at night, because you care, because you're that driven. So I just wanted you to know that. And here's a little funny inside baseball that the whole world will know. When I said to Justin that I'm getting my shoulder replaced, he's like, dang, you're going to be out for like 3 or 4 weeks. I said, I'm not going to be out for nothing. And 6 hours after my operation, we had like one of our biggest deals.
Justin's always ready to help out, so that doesn't surprise me at all. And I've seen text messages back and forth between Justin and I. Like you, I just don't know if the guy sleeps. I think he might have a rechargeable port in his body that just recharges him somehow without needing sleep. So, but yeah, that doesn't surprise me a bit. That's just the way that he is, for sure.
Steve Ferguson at one of the FAM conferences, he talked about people that have extreme ADHD. Man, I got 2 levels, on and off. So that's an old Steve Ferguson thing. For a note, that's also when you go to hire salespeople. Believe it or not, they're usually good salespeople to go hire also. So if you ever got the chance to go and talk to Ferg about this, he's got a whole thing around hiring people like that for your retail stores.
Then you don't want to miss the follow-up part on how to manage those people. That's course 2. That's how he gets you in. That's the free course. Then you gotta hire bedhead afterwards to teach you how to manage that person. Exactly. Yeah. And the whole key is don't over manage them. Just guide them between crashes so that the crashes aren't so bad, because you're going to have some collateral damage, but man, are they going to do great things, right? So, all right. Under bed, on top of bed, increased value proposition, Italian memory foam. I cannot wait. Made in the USA. I just got to pick at that a little bit. What?
So
Where?
our Copper Lux and our Copper Lux hybrids and our Gel Max product lines will all be made in the United States.
So we'll never be out of stock.
That's the goal, right? To always stay in stock, to always have a product that is sourced here, in the United States. So that also leans into a better value proposition. Everybody here likes to have products that are made in the United States. And so that was important to us. We wanted to make sure that, every part about where we're sourcing the Gel Max, Copper Lux, and Copper Lux Hybrid is a better sellability process for our retailers. It's number one, it's made in the United States. Everybody likes to see that and hear that. Go ahead, Pete.
I've got a difficult question for you. There are some people who are concerned today. There's a changing of the guard in our country, and they're concerned that, there's going to be tariffs and they're going to be substantial. And what if this happens? And what if that happens? One of the things that has always amazed me about BedTech is from the minute I walked in as a newbie rep, you guys have always had contingency plans, always, in every market. Whatever was going on around the world, it seemed like you guys were like a couple of steps ahead of everybody else. So I'm going to let you address that. And Justin, feel free to jump in.
Yeah. If you guys don't mind, I'd love to take that one. When you start looking at planning first, BedTech, we have no debt. So we're 100% cash company. And so when you have no debt, obviously you're not tied to a lot of the interest rate risk that a lot of other suppliers are as they go over to roll over those lines of credit. Two, we stock deep. Like if you go to my Midwest facility, we have about 6 months of all goods on hand. And so you could pretty much lose supply chains and us be able to take care of the industry for half a year, which I doubt there's very many people in the adjustable bed category that could actually do that. We have our primary source in Taiwan. So you do have to think, when you look at the first round of tariffs, they were very China focused, where we have already made that pivot out of that supply chain. But then in addition, I always hear, oh, what if China takes Taiwan? Or what if, I always hear all these questions related to the what ifs. We pretty much have a plan for everything. Our products, we have 3 backup factories that already have our stuff on spec, that if we needed to make changes, we can press a button. So the only way that we're not going to have bases is if magically the world stops taking US dollars. Obviously, we would hate to ever have to leave Taiwan, but we have contingency plans for that. If Trump decides today to put tariffs on, well, there's been a lot of dollar appreciation globally. And so we're going to be going back to the factories and using dollar and currency influxes to try to mitigate tariffs for our retailers. I mean, if you look at my business, I've only had one price adjustment in 14 years. And so one thing we pride ourselves on is when things happen that most people would just look at and say, oh, there's no solution, let's just push this through. Oh, there's a 10%, here's a 10% surcharge. Oh, I got a 10% price increase, here's a 10% price increase to the retailers. We don't take that approach. I mean, raising prices to us would be like a last ditch effort where we've exhausted every other resource, squeezed every other thing. And this goes back to not looking what's easy on us, looking at how we can continue to add value and be consistent for the retailers. And so we'll all know a lot more over the next 2 to 3 days, what kind of environment we're in. no matter what environment we're in, we're very confident on us to stay consistent and have very small to no disruptions for our retail partners.
Darren, you got anything to add to that? That sounds pretty good to me, man.
That was very, very much in line with everything that we've gone over and talked about, and Justin is absolutely spot on with that. The only thing that I'll add to that is that, you know, with taking a portion, the highest end portion of our mattress sales here to the United States for manufacturing, it just, you know, it just really adds to that we are going to make sure that there is no disruption there. There is consistency there with USA made product. And so we're just extremely excited to have a portion of our lineup made here in the United States. It's really important to us as people as well. We want to bring as many jobs here to the United States as possible, obviously, and we'll continue to look to shift more products in the future. So this is just the beginning for BedTech. You know, our USA line of mattresses. Look for more things in the future to come. But yeah, we have many contingency plans on all of our products in different countries to make sure that no matter what happens with tariffs, that we're ready. We have, you know, we think about these things well in advance, and we don't just, you know, sit back idly and say, all right, if a problem comes, we'll address it then. If a problem comes, we're already ready to jump. We already know what we're going to do. And so, you know, that's the biggest thing. We want to make sure that whatever happens with any of the, you know, legislation that comes down or whatever it is that we will have contingency plans ready to go immediately so that we don't have any disruption to our product lines, which in turn means no disruptions for our retailers. That's so important to us.
So the message I'm hearing is, if there are disruptions, other people will have disruptions. We are not planning on having any disruptions. And one of the biggest reasons why is because we have so much inventory in all of our warehouses right now that we are more than ready for anything that comes our way. Plus, and I want you guys to dive a little deeper into this because Justin said it really fast, but it's super important. You know, every store owner, you should understand this. You cannot switch suppliers easily and quickly. They need to have already had your product. They need to have the exact dimensions of your product. They need to know the fabrics, where the welds go, the angles, the lengths. Everything has to be already done. And what Justin said is it's already done at least 3 different places. All of that stuff that takes like anywhere from 3 months on a real hurry up to 6 months to get it right. All of that groundwork and foundation has already been laid in advance. Like, nobody has this kind of vision.
And Pete, not just multiple factories, multiple countries, right? And so you're not just talking about, hey, if something happens in factory A, we're going to move it to factory B in the same country. We have this on spec at multiple factories in multiple countries. And so if you have any issue with shipping routes, if you have issues with geopolitical, like a war or something like that, if you have disproportionate tariffs that come to a certain country that would make it unaffordable to our retailers, whatever happens, you know, as ready as you can be for something like this, we are.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We've had provisions in place in some of these places for 2 to 3 years, right? And so, yeah, we the foresight that, you know, of these things happening, you know, we take great pride in being prepared. It's one of the mottos that we really live by is, you know, to always be prepared for things to come. And whether it's in business or in our personal life or, you know, whatever it is that we're doing, it's preparation is the key, you know, and thinking what could happen, you know, and planning for those what ifs. Those are important to us.
Well, and Pete, if you look at the causation, right? Look what happens when some of these distributors don't plan, and the disruptions it causes to retailers with the stock outages for months at a time, or the bad communication, or the having to run to try to find a product that's similar to it, right? Like, everything flows downstream. So if we're not planning and getting ahead of this stuff, in the end, it's the end consumer that gets the disruption. And it's our retail partner that's getting yelled at by the person that bought the $4,000 or $5,000 sleep system that's just missing one piece and can't have it delivered. And so we get that, yes, we're in the top stream on the supply chain, but at the end of it all, there's some couple that's 55, 60 years old, just bought their first bed in 12 years, and they're expecting it to come how they purchased it, and the retailer to meet the promise that they made to them. And then the base isn't there, and you got to wait 4 weeks to make the delivery, and you've had 3 phone calls, and Mrs. Smith, this was sweet lady bringing you cookies. Next thing you know, she's screaming at you and giving you a 1-star review, right? And so, like, we understand how it flows downstream. So this planning, is really to protect the end consumer from having a bad experience that then rolls back up to the retail partner and gets them bad reviews or things like that. And so back to retail focus. I mean, we understand that we have a responsibility to help our retailers keep the promise they make to their customers.
For sure. And, it shouldn't be lost on anybody here that making these kind of preparations and shipping these samples and having the back and forth to actually have it ready to go, it all costs money. It all costs money. But it's part of being prepared. And that's just another reason to do business with BedTech, because we're not looking at where the puck is. We're looking at where the puck's going. We're already there. We're already there. And that's super important for you as a retailer. And the bigger you are of a retailer, top 100s, you cannot afford to be out of stock on things and doing business with people who aren't prepared. So I want to talk about what this business means to you on a personal level, Darren. You kind of grew up in the business. You grew up in a furniture store, and, you're probably putting bed frames together when you're 4 or 5 years old. What does BedTech mean to you?
That's a great question, Pete. Yeah, my grandpa started a furniture store in 1946. I was 2 years before my dad was born. And so my dad grew up in that furniture store. He sold furniture and appliances, mattresses, and then me and my 4 brothers grew up in that same furniture store. And you're right. As soon as I was old enough to walk, practically, I was doing things in that furniture store that whatever it could be done. I mean, I was cleaning out old appliances, whatever. I was putting together bed frames. You name it. My dad had us in that store working at a young age. Most of the time it was, hey, come down and work, and I'll go buy you a soda after we're done, and I was thrilled. I couldn't wait to go work in the store and get a soda afterwards in the nickel fountain machine that was there. I was just thrilled. And so anyway, we learned that business from a young age, learned the value of hard work. We learned customer service skills and then as I became at 14 years old, then he put me on some delivery trucks. Right. And so I wasn't driving then, or at least that he knew of. I may have driven around, but not on in his mind, but we started delivering, and then we started running the deliveries when we were 16 and 17, 18. And then after that, we went to the sales floor, learn how to sell, learn how to do that. And then we started managing stores and all of that. And so the evolution of this company where Brandon, my brother, and I, are the owners of BedTech nationally here. What does it mean to us? And it means everything to us. This company is gives us the ability to provide a livelihood for a ton of employees. And these people that we have that are employees, then there's so many of them. They are real people with real needs and wants and desires. And, those people are important to us. And so for us to be able to have a business that provides a good income and a good livelihood for all of these people, that can't be undervalued. That is one of our highest things that we put value on, is helping our people to have good lives. And that goes for all the people across the country. And then to extrapolate further on that, what does it mean to us on a business to business relationship? Some of the greatest friends that I have in the world are customers, are sales representatives, and business partners that we just absolutely value. Every single relationship that we have with these retailers and with our employees. So yeah, what does it mean? It means everything. Outside of my family and my relationship with God, this business is the next most important thing that I have. And so the relationships with these people and with our sales reps and with our employees, it literally is the third most important thing in my entire life. Number one first, God and family. Number one, number two, and then this business, in that order. And we love our BedTech family, and that includes all of our partners at retail and our sales representatives and everybody who makes it go, from Henry, the diamond-crusted unicorn, to the people that are loading the trucks. Everybody is valuable here, and it means the world to us.
So I'm not trying to embarrass you, but one of the origin stories of BedTech that I was told, one of the reasons you have to go with BedTech if you have the opportunity to, there was a sales rep.
Oh yeah.
Literally on his deathbed in his upper 80s. And he was writing orders on his deathbed because he loved you guys that much.
For sure. Yeah. He's one of my favorite human beings that ever walked this earth. What an amazing man. And he came to Vegas, that market, and left to go to the hospital in Las Vegas. And anyway, when he was visited there, he said, I can't let you guys down. We're like, please, just, you need to just relax.
He probably lasted longer because he had a passion.
Yeah. He loved us and we loved him. And, we kept him around, not because he was the best at his job there, but we loved him so much. And we would have kept him as long as he wanted to be there. And he wanted to be there till his last breath. But yeah, I'll never forget him, but the people like that, we mean a lot to them and they mean a lot to us. And, those relationships can't be undervalued. They're worth so much to us.
So much more important than everything else that sometimes we get wrapped up in, right?
It's true. I'm glad that you brought that up, Pete, though. I haven't thought about that story for several months, but thanks for bringing that up. That's dear to my heart for sure.
Justin, the same question at you, brother. What does BedTech mean to you?
Well, first, I don't have a ton of hobbies other than golf, and I'm not that good at golf. And so, this is the main thing that I work on. If you look at BedTech, though, as a structure, we really are a family-owned company. My dad is my CFO. He's, handled all my finances for over 15 years. Brandon, Darren, Garrett, they're all brothers. Jody, the GM out in Portland, her daughter works there. So you start looking through our network, and just like if you look at our best independent partners where, their brothers, their dads, their moms work in the business, it's the same thing to us. And so this you look at these guys, and it's nothing against, but their careers are career CEOs, where they go to one company for 3 to 5 years, they go to another company for 5 to 7 years, or you get these guys that are career reps. And there's nothing wrong with it, but they move from company to company to company. Well, it's because that company is just hiring them. For us, there's no moving here. I mean, this is our family, our family's businesses, our family's relationships, our blood, sweat, and tears invested into this, just like our retail partners have their blood, sweat, and tears invested into their retail shops. And so there is no moving on from this for me or for Darren. This is what we're doing for the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I mean, I don't plan on, I turned 40 here in March. I don't plan on leaving this industry. I've been doing it for 19 years. I plan on doing it for the next 20 years, and it's going to be with BedTech. And so back to that consistency, the retail partners know they're dealing with the real decision makers, that when they make real commitments over a long period of time, are able to keep that commitment. There's nothing worse than when you're working with the manufacturer, you make a deal, and then the guy you make the deal with leaves and goes to another company and goes to another company, and then you're having to reset and reset. There's no resetting relationships here, right? You're going to be dealing with the same people on the consistent, and we're going to lean back into our retail partners.
So guys, I feel like we just started like 5 minutes ago, but here we are. We're at the end of our time together. Is there a question that I should have asked that I didn't ask, or something you'd like to say to everybody before we sign off?
I think you asked all the right questions, Pete, but I do want to say just one last thing. If you're in Vegas for a Vegas market, come and see us. You will not be disappointed. We have, like we've talked about throughout this show, we have some amazing new products, some revamped products. We are a better company now than we've ever been. So come and see us at Space C 1564. If you're there, we will make it sure that it's worth your time. Come and see us, and we have a lot of great offerings to show you. We will be the best partner that you could ever dream of. We'll try to make your life easier and do everything that we can to enhance what you've already got going in your amazing stores. We will try to be a great partner and make your life easier when it comes to all things BedTech related products.
Only thing I want to say is I'm really happy to hear that Steph is supposed to be going home.
She's home.
She's
home,
yes,
brother.
Yes. I mean, guys, I know the entire industry's kept Jeff and his family in their thoughts and prayers. And obviously, I think that's done a lot for him to be a good support system. So, I mean, just that blessing alone is great. And obviously, we're going to miss Jeff at market. It was unfortunate to have the luxury leap that we really wanted to do, but his family came first in this, and I'm sure everybody understood that. And so I just want to also say how thankful I am for everybody supporting Jeff. He's been a longtime friend and colleague of mine, and it means a lot to see how much support came out for him.
We're happy that your wife's home now, Jeff. That's fantastic. That's a huge blessing, my friend.
Welcome home, Stephanie, and welcome home, Jeff, because I know you've been living in hospital rooms and rehab centers, being by your wife's side every minute that you could be. So I'm glad for both of you, you're home. One of the things I love about our industry is we are an industry with a heart. We support each other. And that's incredibly huge, and it's very special. And guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. I cannot wait to see you guys on Saturday. Everybody that's watching this, if you want to get a hold of Darren, what's the best way, Darren?
Darren at bedtech.com.
Darren at bedtech.com. Justin, what's the best way of getting a hold of you?
Just call me, 503-522-4019. If you're working, I'm working, and just give me a call. I always, as you guys said, my phone's always on. And everybody happy selling. And like Scott Vaughn says, let's all bring the funk.
Bring the funk, baby.
Thank you so much, Pete.
No, thank you. And everybody go out there and sell 1 million this week. We'll see you in Vegas. Take care.